freaky bitches perk they titties up. Go and ask a shawty how I beat the kitty up. Cause I get out of pants, I'm advanced. I just nutted in a bitch, she gon' squeeze it out. Leave a nigga on the floor until he bleeding out. Room full of fake niggas, gotta weed them out. I don't got it, but my nigga keep the heat around. I told that bitch to suck my dick because I need it right now. Fur inside my jacket, killing Peter right now. I'ma turn a dirty bitch into a demon right now. Give a fuck what you believe, I feel like Jesus right now.
More life, more blessings. Welcome to For the Record, over by the Certified Platinum Network. Of course, I'm your host, KRISTODOTCOM. Here today, we are joined by a special artist here from the city of Vancouver. After starting off in the underground scene, you know, on SoundCloud, this Trinidad Canadian artist, is that right?
Yeah.
Crazy. We'll get to it. This artist has proved himself worthy and has climbed up in stature here in the city of Vancouver, even making a few festival appearances here, performing alongside the likes of Juice WRLD, Ski Mask, Slump God, and Lil Pump. Pretty big names there, yo. Pretty impressive resume there. None other than the only DaamCP.
Thank you, bro.
What's going on, bro? What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm good, man.
How are your chakras? How are they aligned?
My
I always,
chakra?
you know what's funny? I always ask this question, how are your chakras aligned? Because I find that it's important, you know, like right off the bat to like find out how people are doing in that moment.
Honestly, I have no idea when it comes to
How your
like
energies, like how you
good.
feeling today? How you feel?
I'm
How you
good.
wake up feeling?
I'm super excited for what I'm doing right now and all the music I got coming out.
That's what's up.
The music dropping this week, everything dropping this summer, so I'm pretty hyped.
I appreciate that, bro. Like honestly, it's something about, and I always talk to my team about this. It's something about being a creative and being in the midst of like working on something and knowing that I see whether it's we got this date and we're working towards this particular goal or whatever it is. Being in the midst of the work and in the grind, something about that is just a little bit special that like you can't really ever replicate that really. Yeah. It's crazy. And I know like as an artist, it's something where you're always tweaking. You're listening, whether it's to your records over and over again and constantly making tweaks until, you find that it's perfect in your own liking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can like tell me how it is in terms of how you feel with, being in the midst of actually getting the work done, getting ready to drop if I'm correct.
Yeah. So right now, like I'm sitting on like 200 plus songs. I got my own studio set up in my house. Obviously not all the songs I would drop because I'm like a perfectionist with it. I need it to be fire.
Yeah.
But like I'm sitting on a bunch of music. So now it's basically just doing everything behind the scenes. I've been building a team, getting it together to like really figure out how to push it, because the way the game is now, like people aren't looking for people to build up. They're looking for people who already build themselves up. So
Yeah.
they know how to do the work. So
That's true.
that's where I'm at right now. But I'm ready to, this summer I'm about to unload the clip. So I'm hyped for that.
That's interesting that you mentioned that, like, as an artist, because I guess back then it worked a little bit differently where, record labels would find unproduced talent or whatever it might be, and they'd work to kind of build that unproduced talent. In today's kind of space, you can argue that they're looking more so for people that maybe have a team or have people or have something already buzzing for themselves. And then, the big, whether it's corporations, will latch onto something like that.
Yeah.
How do you find that you've been kind of working in that space where you're having to build your own team more so than go and pull yourself as a single solo act? Or
Well, basically, like I've had like different managers before and stuff like that. But like one mistake I made early in my career is just depending on other people to get stuff done with me and like hearing like broken promises, just like hearing what may happen. So basically now it's just like I'm matured in that sense. So I'm just like trying to take all matters into my own hands.
Yeah.
And luckily I have people around me to help me.
That's
and who
blessed.
believe in it. So
That's blessed.
that's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
I know that sometimes people will mention, like, once they're signed, they got the machine behind them or whatever that might be, as opposed to, simply having people that that can just simply get the work done or do the work and have it accomplished that way. Do you have anything to say when it comes to like...
Honestly, like anybody could do it. You just need to do the research and you need to put the time in.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't going to want to do that, So,
yeah. There's a book somewhere where they mentioned 10,000 hours and you got to be able to, put in an extraordinary amount of hours to be able to call yourself a professional or perfect something. Works just the same, and I feel like in any craft, and even just the same in making music, Well,
that's why I'm doing shit now, like Twitch streaming. Like I was never a guy, like I don't give a fuck about Instagram or like TikTok and shit like that. But like, I know you need to do this shit now, so that's why I'm like on there more heavy.
Most definitely.
Even though I don't really care to do it, but
Sometimes that Instagram should just be trivial too. Like it's, you know, you're finding yourself, especially like I feel bad for artists too, because you're stuck in the space between, it's a weird phenomenon because you got people like Kendrick Lamar that are one of a kind kind of people where they don't even need the social media shit, but they still keep, or what comes with that is the allure. Like, you know, oh, I haven't seen Kendrick in that many months. And when you do see him, it's almost like you're seeing some kind of crazy figure or whatever it might be. And then there are the other artists, you know, that are coming up now where they're finding they have to actually produce themselves on social media. So it's almost that fine line, like, you know, the big names are doing some other shit, but, you know, in order to sustain yourself, you got to be doing, you know, I don't know how you feel about that. Like if that's always something that you ever have to battle with, like, do I have to be on social media or should I just say fuck this altogether?
Well, being from here, like living here, like people aren't looking for people from here. Like there's people who get a bunch of streams, blah, blah, all that. But like people aren't really looking for people from here. If you're from like LA or shit like that, you could possibly make it just making good music because there will be other people who will put you on. But who's going to put you on here?
Exactly.
There's nobody, you know?
100%.
So.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to get into something maybe we can generally as I like to kind of go all the way back and start at the origin point or kind of the early beginnings. We'll talk about it a little bit later in terms of some of the songs that I've heard, but New Jersey is where you're from? Is that right?
So I was born here and then I moved to New Jersey when I was about grade 2.
Okay.
And I came back in grade 6.
Came back grade 6,
but
okay.
Like moving there from here, like going from here, how we have it here, to going out there. Like here, you have fucking lunch ladies and shit.
Yeah.
At lunch. So there we have security.
That's
like
crazy.
In grade 5, grade 4, you go in, you have to put your shit in a metal detector.
God damn, man.
You go in, like all that. So it's way different. Like people here don't really understand.
So I'm glad you say that because people here really don't know, and particularly a place like New Jersey. And I've done some reading, and I know places like Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah, that was close to where I was at.
Some of the most kind of, if you look at the list of, you know, top 10 dangerous cities in the world, you'll see a couple of like New Jersey cities or some of those little boroughs on that list. And what do you have to say about moving from somewhere like Canada where we always claim, you know, we don't see too much of that stuff or people don't really actually know what it is, going into somewhere when you're in your early youths where, you know, you got a lot of that stuff going on around you.
Well, luckily I was able to make a lot of friends when I first moved there because of basketball. I was good at basketball, you know, so as long as you stick with, and like there's a lot of trouble out there, but if you stay on like the right path, like people aren't gonna fuck with you for no reason. Yeah. Like you'll have your little fights on the court and shit like that, but people aren't gonna like fuck with you.
So you weren't no porch kid. Like you weren't just kind of sitting on the porch watching everything go on. You might have been on the streets, you know, one week, but you were keeping like a straight head. You know.
Like I've seen shit around me, but
you
know, and like I just learned all from it, and like I'm happy I moved there because it made like from my childhood that's the only thing I remember. So it really made me like who I am today. So
definitely.
That's why I feel like my music just sounds different because I'm never like trying to sound like anybody else, you know.
For sure.
My own thing.
So I guess, you know, you started off, was basketball the thing that you were kind of, you know, stuck on when you were a kid?
I was trying to go NBA for sure.
Rapper go to the league, right?
Yeah,
I fuck with that. I mean, I know a lot of people that, you know, particularly artists that were athletes at some point, and it's almost like taking that same drive and same dedication that you have in that sport, and almost, you know, like everything else, you know, time permits itself and maybe your body can't keep up with that sport that you were playing, but you still have that same drive and you got to be able to apply it something else or somewhere else, and being able to put that into something like music. Do you find that you've carried that kind of passion on and you've carried that drive on? Yeah,
well, there's a video I used to have on my Instagram when I played at Heritage and I hit this like game winner, and like everybody rushed out and shit.
Crazy.
Like, that was like one of the best feelings in my life. So like now if I do a festival like Breakout or something, that shit matches that feeling. So like that's why I do the music now. It's like trying to get that feeling all the time.
That's that's a very interesting point you mentioned. Like the aspect of like, you know, whether it's winning a game or, you know, you just having performed a set and you heard everybody saying the lyrics back to you as you're rapping them, that moment of victory, it's like that W moment. Like, I guess that's something that I never really corresponded, like, you know, athletes and artists have together, but it's something, you know, having that many amount of people, you know something that you accomplish in that particular moment. It's important. Yeah, no, nothing compares. Like when you're out there doing some shit like that and like there's just a bunch of people witnessing it and like vibing with you, and like
It's like a drug. Like you're not thinking about anything else. You're like blacking out. And you're just like in the moment, and it's fucking amazing.
For sure. We're gonna get into that and Breakout in particular and some of the other stuff you've done. But I guess sticking back to kind of early beginnings, was basketball something that kind of just became something where you kind of hit your time with it, or you found love in something else? Or
when I lived in New Jersey, I was like super good, and I was taller than everybody. Like my parents were pretty tall, so I thought I was gonna be like 6'5". And then it just stopped at like 6 foot. But like,
were both your parents Trinidadian or?
No, my mom's from California.
Gotcha.
And my dad's from Trini.
Dope. Okay.
So I was like gonna hoop, and like I once I got into college, I ended up going to Capilano for college for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not about to make the NBA. Like I'm wasting my time, and I fucking hate school.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not doing anything for grades here. I'm just here playing basketball, but like for nothing. So I was like, I've always been into music. When I was like grade 5, I started making beats on like GarageBand and shit.
Dope.
Like trash ass beats. Started making beats, and then I was making beats on FL Studio in like grade 9.
Really?
Yeah. And then
that was like that was when it was called Fruity Loops, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That wasn't even FL back then.
But like, it's hard to make beats. Like, it takes a lot of time to like actually get good at it.
Yeah.
And one time I just started spinning. I was like, yo, this shit is way fucking easier. I was like, fuck that. I'm not making no beats.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get back into it in the future, but for now, like, nah, none of that.
I guess artists like J. Cole, some of the artists that actually like they want to be able to touch each and every corner of the music, where they're producing, they're laying vocals, they're mixing, they're mastering. I mean, although yes, like you can argue that some people like that full autonomy of their record. I find that being able to pull somebody else in and have them bring their expertise, whether it's simply just producing or even if you got an amazing voice but you might not have the right pen. In some cases, I don't know about rappers, but R&B artists, what's wrong with grabbing somebody? Beyonce does it. Have somebody help you write your records, right? Form it the way that you envision it, and have somebody else be able to help you. Like I said, rappers might be a different story, but I don't see any problem with being able to collaborate with people that. Yeah,
no, I've done it. I've helped out, Halo. I wrote a record for her.
Really?
That's Life, it's called. That's just how I've done all that. But I've learned how to mix and master now too.
Yeah.
Because like Freelix, like I hate how it's mixed and mastered. Like it sounds like shit. So like I think that definitely held it back a bit. But
right.
That's why I just took it. I'm not in making beats yet, but I'm definitely learning how to mix and master. Because like at the end of the day, nobody could like. What you want it to sound like, and you pay somebody fucking $200-300 per song, and they send it back to you, and there's nothing like what you want it to sound like. You're just like, and then you go to somebody else, pay them, and it's still not like that, and you're just like, fuck, I just wasted like $2,000 for nothing.
I can't remember who exactly it was. It was some artist. I'm fuck giving them credit, but they talked about being able to put on the hat of the producer, and being able to just know if that person's not doing it the way you want, being able to do it yourself, or being able to direct them. I find that that's important. Like I do that when it comes to all of this shit. Like I try my best to be able to talk to people in their language, be able to talk to the camera person and have them understand, or be able to understand what they're doing. Works just the same when it comes to music. If you're mixing a record but you don't know what a properly mixed record sounds like, or if you're having somebody mix a record for you, but you don't know what a properly mixed record sounds like, you might just be throwing your money in the air. You mentioned Free Licks. Going on to that, I guess your first studio album. Is it right to call it a studio album? I guess
I wouldn't say. Well, we had a little studio downtown, was within Roots, and some of it we made here. All those tracks, like I honestly made a year before the project came out. But like, Free Licks was fun. Free Licks was my first thing with within Roots. It was actually supposed to be some of the songs I made with NDT too. Okay. But like, it just didn't match together, so we just kept it with what it was. But I thought it was a great, the way it was produced, like everything, like the intros and outros, like everything was just dope. It was like a full put together project. I just wish it was mixed. Yeah, and I wanted to say that, like, I applaud, like I have this thing where I hold Vancouver artists up to a standard. It's not any type of crazy standard, but I first look at the studio album, and I kind of look at that and see how you went about actually crafting that. Because when I listen to music, I listen to people for
the way that they've made their music sound. Like if I'm in the car and I click track 1, I kind of want to hear what your approach was to how you made your music, right? So all the way down to the end. So in listening to yours, like I was able to hear that, like that cinematic kind of sound to it. Tell me about how it came about. Like, did you know that you were making an album when these songs were being made, or did you just kind of did it just kind of come to be?
We were kind of just like me and With and Roos. We were kind of just making songs because we had the little studio downtown. So it'd be me who would go there, Illy, and AC, that young nigga. Yeah, and we would just all go there and like make songs and shit. But like I feel like me and Braden we had like a real connection on what we were working on. And then like even the last song, Felix, like, I did half of that song. I was like super drunk as fuck, and then I never touched it again. And he's like, yo, hit that song. I was like, nah, fuck that track. And then one day I went back. I was like, okay, fine, I'll hit it. And like that was like one of my favorite tracks I've ever made because it sounded like nothing else that like I've heard from rappers.
Yeah. So I guess that being said, you might just answer one question, probably the only direct question that I had about the Felix project. Did Within Roots do the guitars at the end?
Yeah.
That was my only.
He actually did
that's all I wanted to know.
He actually did it. We first it was Sam without the guitar. He actually did it with the guitar, and I was listening to it in the shower when I first had it. And I deadass started crying when I heard that guitar shit. I was like, yo, this shit is crazy.
I'll tell you, when I was listening to this, and like I'd listened to it before, and I don't know what it was. Maybe I didn't catch it. I'm listening to this, and it's playing on my phone speaker, and I hear the guitar start tapping, and at the end of the track, you're just letting that shit ride out, and I had to go as far as first, okay, no, I can't listen to this on speaker. I put my headphones on, and I'm sitting there like, dog. They did something different with this outro, and just kind of the way it came about. Like even that song, you kind of bounce in and out of a different type of vibe on the album as a whole. And that last song kind of just wrapped things up as nice as it could have been. And I literally just wanted to applaud that in itself.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Like I said, I hold high standard when it comes to the album. How you go about the flow and the cohesiveness of the album in itself. And I found that Dad, as a first album, it was a pretty good or a very good attempt, I must say.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I guess when it comes to when your first album drops and it's out there and you're hearing the reception of it, how did you feel? Like did you feel like this is kind of the moment that you'd kind of been waiting for?
I honestly thought it was gonna pop off just because I was young and I was getting a lot of looks at first. It was all my early shit. And I was like, okay, like this is super anticipated and shit. But like I said, like I feel like the mixing, just the way it sounded, definitely held it back. Now that I listen to it now, definitely held it back. But like it's definitely a good work of art for like in the future when people start fucking with me. They're gonna look like when they hear that, like there's gonna be people who really fuck with it.
So that being said, like diving a little bit deeper into it, like your lyricism was one thing that kind of like it tapped in with me particularly because I don't know too many people that are rapping like you, where it's just kind of like the punchlines are heavy, like it's like heavy, like right hook punchlines. And, first off, like I wanted to kind of know your process behind how you go about writing. Like, are you writing on paper?
So my first in the SoundCloud era when I was dropping music, everything I'd write on my phone. I'd be like at my little job or whatever, and I'd just listen to YouTube beats, and, like write on my phone. Now that I have my own like studio set up, like I just do the punching. But like I don't even make music like I make music a lot. Like for a few weeks I'll make 2 weeks I'll make like 20 songs, and then like for a few weeks I won't make anything, just because like when I make music it's based off of my life. So like if nothing is really popping, like I'll just sit there, I'll try to make some, but like I just don't fuck with it because I'm just saying like random shit, But, like if something like if fucking me and one of my girls just broke up or something, like, I'll make a fire ass track.
There you go.
Like that's why I think separates me from a lot of people, because I've seen people deal with shit and they're in the studio and they're dealing with shit and like they'll fold, like they won't even get to work. But like for me, if I'm dealing with any shit, the first thing I'll do, I'll take that shit and go straight to the mic. Because that's when I feel like you make your best.
You put it in the music.
Yeah, your best music.
I find that so many of the greats, like I won't even try, like the greats, put like they take their pain or their whatever is going on in their life at that moment and they put it into the music. We watched like it was just literally the Kanye doc that had just dropped. You're watching, you know, they're punching in, putting their how they feel in that moment onto the record. However they're feeling or whatever's going on in their life, whether it's, you know, Jamie Foxx, Kanye, any of the greats that were in that entire documentary. It's you know, putting that emotion onto paper. And some people, you know, go into the studio and they'll kick rocks for 2 hours before they come up with an idea and then put it on, and the engineer is the one at the end of the day doing most of the work, you know, clipping your clipping your vocals, trying to get it sounding right. And on like a case like yours where, you know,
it's the same as like people writing a book. Like I could probably guarantee there's nobody who ever wrote a book just off like imagination. Like there had to be something that like influenced like what they're writing, you know?
Right.
And like that's, you want to get a message, even though I'm talking about like fucking bitches and turning up and shit, I still try to make it in the most creative way. Right. Where like I'm not just sitting here rhyming bottles with models and shit like
most
that. You know? I try to make it in the most. I'll put down a bar and like I always try to put down the second bar I think of, not the first.
Got you.
The first won't be like, you know, the first is the first thing you think of, what somebody else might think of. So I try to do the second thing I think of.
That's
then,
good.
You know. That's what I try to do.
That's an interesting way of kind of going about writing, because I know some people that will like, you know, they're only writing verses, they're not touching the hook until after. Some people that are punching in with the hook and then fill the verse in after. But I guess you're approaching it in a different way where you're not looking at what somebody's probably going to think you're going to say, but you know, you're kind of, I fuck with that. I respect that. It's an interesting way. I find that as a creative, everybody's got their own way of, you know.
I'll know from like the first bar. Like if I pull up a beat, if I think of the first bar like and it's super fire, like off top, then I know like I can make a track out of it. If I can't come up with a good first bar, I will just go to the next beat.
So you're not forcing anything.
No, I'm not forcing that at all.
I know a lot of people that'll try to force it, and it's like, yo, like, why don't do this to yourself? This is supposed to be fun. That's
what I mean. A lot of people, when people say, oh, they're in the studio working, for me, I've never seen it as work. I'm having fun every time I do it. It's not work at all for me.
For sure. That being said, I wanted to ask about the name drops. Well, maybe not even I'm listening and I'm laughing as I'm listening to the music, but do you ever get questions about like the shit that you like put down on the paper? Like,
well, I've had, the most questions I get is like if I have like a girl.
Well, you gotta say no names. We gotta incriminate nobody.
I'll be saying shit like, I'll just be saying shit that I've done, and like it doesn't always go well with the girl. 'Cause she'll be like, oh, send me a song, I want to listen to it. And then they'll be like, oh, then they'll be getting all pissed off. I'm just like, yo, like it's from my past, you know. Like,
it's only entertainment.
That's what I mean. But
yeah, you gotta let them know, you know. It's just jokes.
They gotta understand, you know.
It's just
like,
music.
For me, it's just like, it's my art, you know. It's my way of it. I'm not somebody who goes to talk to people. I'm not gonna talk to a therapist or something like that. Like that is my therapy. Like whatever is going on, I can sit there and let it all out, and I feel much better. So.
What do you feel about meeting an artist as they are? Because, you know, like you'll meet somebody and you'll hear, oh, that person used to do this and used to do that, and you're meeting them and they're at a completely different point in their life and they've changed. They're not doing the shit that they used to be on, and you admire them. You fuck with them because of who you see in front of you right now. Do you feel like people should be that way with artists when it comes to, you know, finding music? Should I hold you to the standard of, you know, free licks, or is it only fair to judge you off of maybe what?
Well, like I've definitely, like I would say for myself, like I've definitely matured as a person. Yeah. But like I'm not gonna rap about maturing. Ain't nobody want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Like, people want to hear the fun shit.
Yeah. People even like Hove doing that.
So like no, ain't nobody want to hear that. So I'm trying to spit about the fun shit. And I obviously still do have fun. I'm still a wild ass nigga. But
nah, I'll tell you right now, you wild ass nigga, bro. My next question gonna answer that directly. Trust me. I want to ask about this Fuck Bonnie Henry record, bro. I want to ask about this record, and I first heard it was, I almost couldn't believe what I was listening to. I fuck with the heart. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I'm listening to this, and I'm one of those people that like if I'm listening to something and you can tell that I like it, I let out bursts of laugh. Like I'll just be doing some rap. I'll be cooking and just hear a funny bar and I just like let out a crazy laugh. And bro, the amount of times I'd be listening to your music and I just be loud because this shit just, the bar is just, you know.
That's my goal, bro. Like in every song I make, I want to put at least 1 or 2 bars that's gonna make people laugh. Like,
yeah. Because
I think like that's like, people take shit too serious a lot of time, you know. Like I think comedy and rapping is like a dope thing. Like, that's why I try to do it. As long as it sounds hard, it's fire. But fucking for Fuck Bonnie Henry. So basically what happened, I was just driving home. Like sometimes I'll pull up type beats on my phone while I'm driving home.
Yeah.
And this was like right when we got new restrictions or some shit.
Yep.
I was just like listening to this type beat. I was like, fuck Bonnie Henry, blah, blah. I was like, hey, I'm about to go home, record that hook, and like make a TikTok. That's it. So I go home, record the hook, and then I make the TikTok and I post it on Instagram. And then I have mad people messaging me like, yo, like, where's the full track? Like, full track, blah, blah. I was like, oh, there is none. They're like, oh, can you send it to me? Like, I was like, hey, well, I'll just go make the full track. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just put a verse on it and put the hook back and let it go like that. So basically, I just did that and then dropped it. And then fucking seeing all these people sharing the shit, all these people commenting. But I have people messaging me like saying like people who actually care. Like I don't give a fuck about COVID, politics, none of that shit. But I have people messaging me talking about like if you really care about like this, like post this, like post that. It's like, bro, like it's just a joke, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like,
and exactly to that point, like I'm glad you mentioned music and comedy. Like I feel like that's something where it's, you know, people forget that music can work in genres. Like not everything got to be, you know, introspective or what do they call it? Adult contemporary rap, where it's like Black Thought, where they're rapping about, you know, social justice and financial systems and things like that. Like, don't nobody always want to hear that. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but you know, being able to just know that there are different variations. You know, like comedy rap. You know, we got people. And I hate to always just kind of throw names out there for purposes of comparison, but like Lil Dicky, like somebody that's rapping strictly like, you know.
Strictly comedy, yeah.
Exactly. And I don't see anything wrong with it. Like if you want to flex your pen in that way, nothing wrong with it. And I don't think that people should take it, you know, literally. You should recognize satire when it's there.
I want people to have fun when they listen to my shit. I want girls to have fun, guys to have fun. Like I just want them to have fun when they listen to my music, because that's what I like to do. I like to party, have fun, so I want people to feel the same way when they listen to my music. Even if it's on some serious shit, I'm talking about some serious shit, I'm still gonna try to find a way to make people have fun listening to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think for the people that might be watching this and might argue that you have like a responsibility to, you know, kind of speak, you know, recognizing that you're speaking to a mass majority of people? Do you feel like that's something that you should really consider? If this is just my music, it's my music? And
yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about being canceled, none of that shit. Like I'm gonna do me, and I don't give a fuck what people say. Yeah. Like when I'm in that zone in my studio recording, like I'm not thinking about anything on the outside. You know, I'm like, for me, like the way I treat my life, it's like a movie. And I'm the main character, you know? Right? Like this is like I'm living in my own world. So like, I don't really care what other people are gonna look at me for, or like say about me. Like I just don't care.
I appreciate that. I guess that being said, has anybody really contacted you about that record in particular? Like, is anybody?
Yeah, people. Well, I know one girl. I forgot her name, but
I'm talking the federales, the authorities.
Oh, I honestly thought. Like when people would some people would comment on the shit, like saying "fuck Bonnie" or something, and they would delete it. I honestly thought like. I wouldn't have been surprised if I got a message from like or an email from like
government of BC with a blue check or some shit.
I feel like if it got like even bigger, then like and like people messaged me to do like a video and shit. I didn't want to be fully looked at as like a meme rapper, right? I'm not. So like that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hold off on it. I'm just let it do its thing. But it's still a fire track, and I'm performing anytime I'm performing in Vancouver. I'm gonna fucking do it.
You heard it here first. If you hear it, start playing. I mean, do what you will, but it's running. It's being ran on the decks. That being said, I appreciate your honesty when it came to that, because like I said, I'd always wondered, like, bro, this kid, I know damn well he's not searching for no government job anytime soon. That was something that I always wondered, but I mean, I appreciate that. I guess, that's kind of all that I really wanted to ask about that. You mentioned that this will probably be performed at, you know, a festival or a performance in the future. What are your plans for festivals in general? Like,
well, like that's my goal. Like because the ones I've done, like every time I've done it, it's been the best night of my life. And I'm sure for my homies that I brought to, it's been the best night for them. It's just like, it's so fun. Like, bro, like it's just so fun. You fucking perform, then off to the side. You got girls coming up to me like, "Oh, can you bring me backstage?" And I'm like, "I get out of here." Shit like that. But like, it's just fun.
Yeah, got me wondering, is this what this groupie shit's about? Yeah,
it's fun.
I can live with this. Nah, fuck with that. So is talk about like the I guess the larger performances that you've done in particular, because I mentioned Breakout, but Breakout might not be the only one. So I want to kind of
Breakout's definitely the biggest. Breakout, the first Breakout summer was like that was lit, but the winter one was fucking crazy because like I was going on first, so like in the summer I go on first, like there's people there, not like a shitload of people. But then I go on in winter and like I see like thousands of people, and like for me, like I don't get nervous when I'm doing a show. I'll get nervous if I'm doing a show in one of those little club shows and there's like fucking 30 people there.
Really?
If there's like thousands of people there, like I want that moment. Like it was the same as when I was playing basketball. Like when we had games and nobody's there, I'm just like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a bunch of people there, I'm like, you know, I want to put on a show. I want to be in the spotlight.
Yeah. So the energy, like that's a factor that matters to you, because I think that that's probably what it is. It's the low amount of people is probably low energy, but if there's a lot of people there's a lot of energy in that particular space at that moment, and you can harness that if you're, you know, the performer in that sense. Yeah.
Well, when you look around, like there's people who obviously don't know your shit, like don't know my shit, but like you just have to find those spots in the crowd with those kids who don't give a fuck and they're just getting lit. Yeah. And jumping up and down. You just focus on those people and you just have a great time.
You'll see Shazam popped out and everybody's phone trying to find out what song it is because it's some fire shit. I respect that. And that's always kind of something that I wondered, you know, like respectfully, like you know, having big ticket names on a set list like that and being a performer that's also on there, how that is for you, like how you feel. You know, you're kind of setting yourself for, like, do you find that you're kind of suiting up to most definitely I see you kind of in that particular space at one point, but do you find that this is kind of the moment that's preparing you for that big moment? Or
yeah, well, one thing, I do this for the competition too. Like I'm a competitive guy, so like
I like that.
Even though people don't know me, like even though I'm going out there first or whatever, I'm going out there to leave a statement and like compete with the other people, even though they know these other people and they don't know me. I'm still trying to compete with them, you know, because I'm just, especially like growing up on the East Coast, like everything's just competitive all the time. People talking shit all the time. Like, exactly. I just want to be better. Like, it's no disrespect to anybody. I just want to be better, you know, in everything I do. Video games, fucking whatever it is. Like, I want to be the best at what I'm doing. So.
And if it's your craft, you want the people that you love to be there to see it. That's why I guess you mentioned, you know, you got your crew there with you at times like that. Talk about, you know, being able to bring, you know, your loved ones to, although it's still in the city, but being able to have them or showcase what you do in front of the people you love, in front of this many people.
Well, it's dope because, like, one of the reasons I do the music too is because I want to get to a point where I could give all the homies around me, all the close people around me, like a better, a more fun life, you know. Like, and I feel like out of all the people I know, like I have the opportunity to do so. So like I'm gonna chase it. Because if it happens, then I could give everybody else the opportunity to make a better life for themselves and enjoy their life. Because life isn't about fucking working no job and like shit like that. Like you should be able to enjoy your life, you know. So
I find that I always kind of look into the way that like the French live. It might not only be France, but it's some places in the world where they're not working and then going home to live, where their work is just as important as everything else that's going on in their life. They're working a set amount of hours, and as soon as that clock is done, then they, you know, go spend time with family, with loved ones, and actually enjoy life for what it is. In North America, or maybe this side of the world, I feel like it's jaded, and people kind of get tied into, you know, what they're doing at that moment, and you know, what's happening right now. You get kind of engulfed into that, and you tend to, you know, let family and loved ones and this and that kind of fall on the wayside. But, you know, once again, it's important to kind of hold those people, the ones that you love, you know, keep them close. And if you're able to bring them to an environment where they can see what you do, I feel like that's dope.
Yeah, they need to normalize the 3-day weekend, Monday to Thursday. The world would be a much better place if they.
I think so too. People would be less stressed, you know.
Trust me, bro.
All kinds of shit. And plus, I'm only trying to work 4 days. I'm not trying to work a whole 5-day thing. You know, that's damn near a bid, honestly, if you're asking me. But yeah, no, that's dope. Like I said, I see a lot more, or I guess what I'll ask is touring something that you could potentially see, or something that's being planned right now, or?
Yeah, well, definitely after KRISTODOTCOM, the project I'm going to be dropping end of the month or close to after that. But we're definitely going to try to do something across Canada, something like that. But like the main thing for me, like I haven't dropped music for a long time. I've dropped little things on SoundCloud here and there, but
Yeah.
not like I said, I have a bunch of music ready to go. So like now, after I start dropping the shit now, like I'm all summer, you're gonna see me at least drop a month. So
one thing I think I read it somewhere, but it said that you maybe this I should have asked this when I was asking kind of your songwriting process, but that you make music with the intention to be able to perform it. Is that?
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, not as much now. Cause like the way I am now, like before it was just all lit shit. But like now I've kind of gone into more like the art of like actually rapping. Mm-hmm. Like obviously I'm not trying to do no like boom bap shit.
Yeah.
even I could spit over like a boom bap type of beat, but I'm gonna make it like I'm gonna make the bars like in like a new way. Mm-hmm. So like Can
I challenge you?
Huh?
Can I challenge you?
You gonna challenge me?
I'm a Griselda fan. I'm a fan of like the boom bap shit. It's a weird thing.
I sent you that New Jersey Devil track, right? That was like,
bruh, I'm telling you, Conway, Benny the Butcher, man, they doing their thing.
Yeah, I fuck with Griselda.
I think I could see you on like a boom bap sounding beat. We might have to call Brady into the room or something, put some strings on it. But I could see you kind of twisting it and making it sound like some dope shit.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. Because I'm like, I try to take, if I'm on a beat like that, I try to make it, give it as like a young nigga feel. Yeah. As possible.
I fuck with that. Maybe that's a challenge. I mean, if he comes out with some boom bap or Griselda type sound and stuff, you know, you can credit me because, you know, it was me right now that
I'm pretty sure I sent you one.
Did you?
The New Jersey Devil one?
You did. No, you did. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no. Well, I guess I might have just reminisced it there. Maybe I heard it and it was wishful thinking. Like maybe I want to hear more of it. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of when you really get into like your rap bag because, like I said, you'd send me some music and you know I'm listening to this and having to then go run it back in the car again because it's I'm listening to it and. I fuck with the kind of the skill because I can hear the evolution, like hearing some of the older stuff and then hearing what you're about to drop now. I see big things definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Do you want to talk about some of the? Because you would send it to me as kind of unreleased. I don't know kind of the state of things now. I had a couple of thoughts about some of the songs you had sent. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about them. But
no, you can talk about them.
Flamingo, I texted you.
Yeah.
I told you I fuck with that one. That's hard. Is that being planned? Are we gonna see that?
That one will be on KRISTODOTCOM.
Gotcha.
The project, so that one will be real soon. That's like that'll definitely be a big track. I'm definitely excited for that track.
I heard it and I told you it sounded big.
NDT produced that. The guy who I first started working, he's probably the reason I'm like doing what I am today.
Talk about that.
So I grew up in high school, like I was boys with my boy Kai de Torres.
Okay.
Now they have their own group called Glico.
Okay. And
they live in Japan. But his older brother, NDT, like so basically when I first started rapping, like I'd be like rapping, like recording shit like here and there. But he was like making beats, so it was the first producer I got to work with, but he really sat down, like locked in with me.
Right.
Like guided me, like learning how to make music and shit like that.
Got you. So he's kind of like a mentor.
The only two producers I've worked with, like actually sat and worked with, is him, NDT, and Within Roots.
And that's what I was gonna ask. Another question that I had was that you like credited on your discography, the only collaboration credit that I see is Illy Maniaci. Is that for a purpose? Like, do you just work better on your own, do you find, or?
Well, no, like definitely I want to work with people. But like it has to make sense. You know what I mean? Like I'm not somebody who's just gonna try to work with somebody because of any clout or anything like that. Like I have to love the song. You know? I have few like if you know Quintana Mills, I have a track with him that's gonna be coming out soon.
Fire.
That's just fire. Like I've only worked with a few different artists, but like a lot, like no diss, but a lot of artists.
You could diss them. It's all good. You could diss them.
But a lot of artists from here, like I feel like Vancouver, like a lot of artists are their sound is just like not new. It's just like from somebody else.
Okay.
So like I need like if somebody's authentic, then I'm gonna fuck with them.
No, respectfully.
If it's good and authentic, I'm gonna fuck with them.
I feel that's fair. That works with anything. Like if you can sense the authenticity in most things, and if you can find that somebody's actually put in their heart and passion behind it. Of course, like I mention all the time, we're here to be derivatives or take the derivatives of something else. Like all of our ideas, as much as we want to claim they're original, they probably came from something or somewhere else or were inspired by it. But you've got to be able to, be able to take that and make it your own, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, some kid It was like from Heritage Woods rapping about killing niggas. Like, I'm not about to make a track with them. Like,
yeah, no, rightfully
like,
so. And
not.
I don't even know if that's like, well, promote it if you want, but that might not be the message you want to promote. You know? Depending on who's coming from, especially. But yeah, Flamingo was one song. I told you personally that like I was reminiscent of like Kanye College Dropout, like that level of production, that level of production and that style of production. Like I want to give it credit too. Like it sounded nice as hell.
Yeah.
And I fuck with that. I'm excited for people to hear that one in particular.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a few songs like that in that little West Coast bag.
Yeah.
Because like I said, my mom's from California, so
right.
Been out there a lot.
Got to be able to tap into that.
Yeah, I just like I go on a lot of different beats, you know. Like I don't have like a distinct sound, I wouldn't say, but whatever I fuck with, like I'm just gonna try different shit.
Yeah. Issues was another one, or is it Issue or Issues?
I don't know yet.
We'll find out if that's what
but
it's called.
But that's my favorite track right now.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that one was hard. I really like what you did with that. Like it's like it's really, there's something about storytelling on a record that I find like, you know, important, or I actually use, those will be the ones that stand the test of time for me. I'll run them back over and over because I like the type of story they're telling. That's why people are still listening to that one J. Cole song where he's talking about being in class and you know, setting it up for that ting for the first time. People love that track because he's telling a story. And same for that. Like I feel like you're depicting something. Imagery is something that's important. You got to be able to use words to show that.
Yeah, that track is definitely close to my heart. Can't lie.
We were floating on Murda CP. That was one that I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
I think you were floating on that one. It was crazy. Like I'm listening to the flow and kind of your cadence on that, and I remember reading back about how your cadence was one thing that kind of stuck out to people, especially you're on Lyrical Lemonade, right?
Yeah.
Covered you a few times, which is that in itself is dope. But they mentioned that like your cadence is something that they or that's, you know, notable for you, and that's where I, you know, really heard it, and I was like, yeah, you can go ahead and check that box off. That was good. But yeah, like, are there any others that you think that people should be looking out for? Like, I guess, yeah, you have an album coming out, but you've got the visuals for Disrespectful. Yeah,
Disrespectful will be dropping this week, April 7th. I think that's Wednesday or Thursday.
Got you.
And then we're gonna go right into KRISTODOTCOM as soon as possible. And then like for the summer, I'm probably gonna drop a bunch of singles, to be honest, do as many videos as I can.
Yeah.
So like I don't have a plan of like what I want to drop first.
Right.
I have an idea, but I'm just gonna go into it because like a lot of time before I drop music, I disappear for a long time. But it wasn't something I wanted to do.
Right.
It was just something that like it just wasn't working out in the right way. So
right.
Now, now I feel like I have the product and like I have the team behind me, so we're just gonna let loose.
You know what's funny is that was gonna be my last question for you actually for today. To be honest, I don't really put a lot of kind of pressure, or maybe not even pressure is the right word, but I don't put a lot of noteworthiness into what some articles have to say. A couple of them have noted that like you've kind of been in and out, or maybe you've taken extended silences or whatever it might have been. Is there like a reason for that? Like, are you finding that you have to kind of hunker down and create a little bit longer, or is there another reason why? It was
just like the behind the scenes shit, like, cause like I could record like one of the best tracks ever and put it out, and like not doing anything behind the scenes, like trying to contact press and like shit like that, like it will just go nowhere. So like, and like plus the mixing too. Yeah. Like that was a big thing. I was never like happy with like the mixing, shit like that. So, and like I didn't have my own. I should have invested in getting my own studio before. But like I was just being young nigga out here doing whatever.
It is what it is.
But like that definitely changed a lot because before I would fucking write tracks and like I only have 2 hours. On a Friday night to go like record what I can. Then when you're writing shit in your head, it might sound a certain way, and you put it down, it's not the same. Right. So now that I have like that studio space to like do whatever, like I could easily put out like different content. Like,
that's
all
good.
The time. Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that because I feel like, you know, with what I'm hearing, I feel like the people are being stripped of, you know, you say you got 200 songs in the tuck, you know, I feel like the people probably got to hear at least half of those at least, or there's probably a lot that, you know, you could probably release and it kind of, you know, whether it be help build momentum or whatever it is, I think people want to hear you. So I think that's glad to hear at the very least that, you know, we might be seeing a little bit more from you.
We're going to see a lot. We're gonna see a lot.
Yeah.
This summer, a lot.
I'm glad to
for
hear
sure.
that. Glad. Now, we've got the certified platinum information team. They've been doing a little bit of background research. It was important that I asked you about your TikToks. It was something that, was important, and they wanted to make sure that we covered that, and the fact that you're on TikTok, and the content that you post in there in particular. Now, I'll say I'm not too big on TikTok. Sorry? The food, yes.
Oh, the kitchen fire.
Yeah, now you cooking on there, I hear.
Well,
I hear you whipping it up. That's what I hear.
I took it down because, like I was telling you off the camera about my stomach bacteria shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do the kitchen fire shit, but I ain't feel good after I do that shit. So I put it on pause for now, but it'll come back. It'll come back. I just need to get a little more healthy.
Let things settle a little bit,
Yeah. Because I'm not trying to lose my life over some fucking McDonald's burgers.
On God, bro.
I gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah, it ain't worth all that. But no, I fuck with that. Is there a moment where you realized that TikTok might have been the place that content on here might actually be fire? Because I know people look at a lot of niggas, making content on TikTok, and they're looking at it a little bit whack. But
that's how I was looking at it for sure. But that's why I had to look at it and be like, okay, how can I push it, but still be me and not just be some corny ass nigga.
Yeah.
So I just try to do, I'll always be doing funny shit normal, but I have to get used to being okay, let me just put a camera in front of it and record some shit, and then if I decide it's fucking funny or whatever, then I'll put it out. But
I appreciate that, because me myself, I'm not really big on TikTok. I'm logged in on the network page. We're posting clips on there all the time, but me myself, I'm not on there making stuff. And so I do scroll though. Although I don't make them, I scroll. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll be 100% real. I've been seeing a lot of light skinned nigga shit on there. I'm sorry.
100%.
I'm sorry.
Trust me, I know.
It's on there. And I'm looking at it damn, there's the opportunity for so much shit on here.
Mostly on there, I be seeing those emo rap types,
Yeah.
But
I'm just glad you found a pocket. I'm glad you found your bag, and you can entertain the people in that way.
Well, I'm not trying to do only music. I want to do everything. I want to act. I want to do all that shit. Obviously, music is my my number one.
Yeah.
But, I'm not just trying to sell music. I'm trying to sell me. I'm trying to be a full-on entertainer. So
yeah,
that's why I play mad video games, shit like that. That's why I'm doing the Twitch stream and shit like that. I just want to show everything. Yeah. So, those people who really fuck with me and fuck with my music, they're gonna be happy to see me in a different light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Message to anybody that's that's maybe considering taking music on. One thing, just take a look at any the people that have been in the game for a while. The Rihanna's, Drake's, Jay-Z's, Beyonce, any of the big names. Nobody's just doing music. And to be honest, maybe you can answer this: does music make a lot of money from the long run? If you're looking at it from the long run, because I know the answer. I don't know if maybe you're the better one to answer.
But if you're going on to, you see people like Lil Yachty doing fucking Target and Sprite commercials.
So that's different.
Those bags you're getting for that are different from any track you make. So
now I'm talking strictly on your record sales, what you make from your streams. I don't know if you can throw in merch from your concerts. Maybe that can squeeze in there.
I'm
talking
shit.
just the musician. If you're not doing any things on the side.
Yeah, no, you ain't gonna make. That's besides shows. You'll make money for shows, but you're not gonna get those high places in shows unless you're doing shit inside.
And so that's why you see, Rihanna said, "Fuck music altogether. I'm making makeup."
Yeah, exactly.
Some people they're realizing that they can take their influence from the music. It's what they started out with. It's what they love, and translate that into something else that the people also want to see. And to see you on the big screen, I'm not gonna lie, I could see it.
I really want to do that shit, man. Trust me.
Have you been doing auditions or anything, or?
Well, I used to when I was younger, but I just want to build it up now with the music. So when the opportunity is there, I don't have to change my character too much. So people will come to me for me to kind of be me.
100%. Yeah. Now, if you let me know whenever you're ready for the cooking show. Certified Platinum's got a spot for you. You let us know. We'll tap and we'll get something done. Now, one last thing I wanted to maybe ask about. Please hang up. I like to do a little bit of digging into music and a lot of that stuff. Please hang up. I saw in the credits as the label or whatever it might be on your music. Or on the album itself. What's that? Is it a collective? Talk a little bit about that.
My manager, Jojo, one of my managers.
All good.
Bro, he's FaceTime me right now. My bad.
Is that him?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is wild, and we are not cutting that.
So my manager Jojo, he wanted to start his own label out. We haven't really gone too far with it, but like he works with Wonder Girl a lot. He's out in Vegas with Wonder Girl right now, stuff like that. So it's just something he was building, and like he helps me out. So it's nothing like big right now, but in the future, like definitely be something.
Yeah,
he works with Roos too.
Got you.
And Crush, Colleen.
So it's kind of like your kind of creative.
It's our team.
Yeah,
our team. Yeah.
And I fuck with that. I feel that's the best way to do it. Like, you know, find your network of people that you can create with. I feel like this is a world where you don't even really need the big companies to get shit done no more.
Yeah.
You know, find your people, find your crowd, and get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, like I said, this has kind of been another great episode here of For the Record here by the Certified Platinum Network. Here with DaamCP once again.
Yeah, it's been dope.
It's been dope talking to you, bro.
This may go down in the history books. My first one.
I think it will, bro. Most definitely. And when we see you on the big screen, they're gonna have to come back to this one here. We talked about it first, yo.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you,
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
All right. Of course, you guys can catch the video episode of this at certifiedplatinum.ca/listen. Go ahead and press the little YouTube icon there. Audio version, of course, on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, and everywhere else you listen to your podcast. Besides that, thanks for joining us, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bitch, ask me what my name is. What the fuck you talking about? Bitch, you know who the fuck I am.